You know that most people, when they decide to sell their home, quite a few of them might go back to the agent that sold them their home initially, because the assumption is that they might be a nice person and they might have liked the experience with the purchase. But they say they're going to go back. But actually, the statistics are that more than 67% of those home sellers don't use the last real estate agent that they did before. It could be, it might not have anything to do with the agent, but it's kind of a different story selling versus buying. Buying is kind of like shopping on steroids, but when you're selling, there's so many things that you have to get right, and it's quite a process. First of all, moving is a hard project altogether by itself, but when you think about it, got to get your home ready for sale, so you get people coming in your house and hopefully loving on your home and making great offers, and then you've got to go through the inspection and the appraisal and moving and closing and all these things. So it's not quite as simple as going out and going, I'll pick that house, write me an offer gets accepted, do an inspection and close. It's a little bit more involved. So there are actually a lot of mistakes that home sellers make when they choose a real estate agent. And I get calls all the time of people asking me, my house is on the market, we're just not happy, we don't know what's going on, we haven't heard feedback on the showings, we don't know if we're priced right, we don't know why our house isn't selling, it's just confusing. Okay. And it's been a tricky time because the market shifted so quickly. I think a lot of people assumed that they could look at prices that happened during the bidding war and be 100% sure that they're going to get that much money for their house right now with very little effort. And actually, that is not the case. Right now in the Colorado Springs region, there's about a 2-week supply of homes. What does that mean? Average time on the market right now is about 18 days. That means the seller has the advantage. And in a buyer's market, the buyer has the advantage. Okay. Now, why am I talking about this? It's real estate has a lot to do with supply and demand. And right now there's about 2,471 properties available in 3 counties. It's actually probably double what we had in May and 5 times of what we had back in January. So there's more supply than there was. Okay. And there's a little bit muted demand because the interest rates have gone up, right? So why would a home seller, back last year when everything was selling with multiple offers, I'm sure they were wondering, why do I even need a real estate agent? I just stick my house on the market and let the offers come in, right? But it's the difference between getting the most money back then or just taking the first offer and getting it sold. But right now, why would a home seller actually need an experienced agent in a shifting market? And the reason is you want to position the home to actually get the most amount of money when you sell. Worst case scenario, you put your house on the market at this artificially high price and slowly walk the price down. The national statistics are that you'll net less money. Plus, there's nothing more painful than dealing with showing after showing and keeping your house tidy and neat, being kind of on call to allow people to come look at your home and then having it not sell, or having the agents give this feedback about, oh, well, I didn't like the floor plan, or I didn't like something. And not every house is the same. But the truth is, and the sad thing is, there are in the Pikes Peak region about 5,000 licensed real estate agents, but 74% of them sell 3 or less homes a year. Okay, you could make more working at McDonald's, to be honest with you. So some agents that maybe get a chance to list a house might look back on historic sales and go, oh, okay, your house must be worth this much. Then they put it on the market, it's not selling, sellers are getting frustrated. And it's because they really don't know how to price a home to get the most amount of money. And they really don't know how to position the home to get the most amount of money. And so I don't know if you know this, but in real estate, there's something like an 80% turnover of real estate agents every 5 years. And the reason for that, a lot of it has to do with, I think overall the training in the industry is not very good. But most home sellers or the public in general would assume that when they hire a real estate agent to buy or sell, that the real estate agent understands how to do things like market, how to negotiate, how to some closing skills, how the process works, what the contracts mean. I've got a client right now that just fired their agent because they just really didn't understand the contract and it cost them a lot of money. So not every agent is really well skilled. And so you have to ask some really, really important questions when you hire a real estate agent about whether or not they are the one that's going to maximize demand for your home so you get the most money. And if you don't believe me, just ask Bill and Randy. I just sold their home just last month for over asking price the first weekend because they did everything right. They did preparation, they priced it right, I promoted it, and even in the shifting market, I got them multiple offers. And some of the mistakes that most home sellers make when they're interviewing agents is either A, they just hire the first person they meet because they're nice, or they hire with no predetermined method for selecting an agent. And so the problem with that is that they might use logic like, oh, well, she was a nice person, or she sold me the house, or they gave me a discount. That might be the reason for selecting an agent, but is that really the right reason? If most real estate agents don't make it past their 5th year, and a huge percentage of customers say they will go back to the same agent, but most of them don't, the reason is that these agents really aren't skilled enough to walk you through this home selling process to make sure it happens well, that you get the most amount of money, that you have a smooth on-time closing. So what they do is they just pick an average agent, and kind of the average agent does what I call post and hopes, takes pictures of the home with their smartphone, takes some happy snaps, sticks it up in the MLS, and just hopes some other agent has the buyer. So what we did for our customers is we created what we call a free report about agent selection. We wanted to give you a tool to use so you could take a look at it, download it for free, and it actually includes 9 different selection factors and the top common mistakes made in selecting an agent. And you can order that free agent selection guide by going to barbhasthebuyers.com. Either click on free reports or seller guide, or give us a call at 719-301-3900. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of those great questions on selecting an agent and what you need to do when you make this decision about selling one of your largest assets. All right, so here's some of the reasons that people selling their homes really need this resource to choose a great agent. Number 1 is marketing. If most of the agents spend very little money on marketing, yet they're charging you this thousands of dollar commission to market their home, you need to hire an agent that is going to market your home and that is most likely going to focus on getting your home sold for top dollar. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been here in the business since I think 97 is when I started. I do specialize in helping home sellers sell homes, but we have a team that does all these services for buyers and sellers. And if you're thinking of making a move and you want to know what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale, and you'd like to find out about how to choose an agent, go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Either reach out to us to contact us, or give me a call at 719-301-3900. But that's our goal, is to help you get the most money. So one of the things that we definitely do is make sure that we're marketing to get you top dollar. And you never want to slack off on marketing. I'm showing an example right now of really poor marketing where the house looked pretty, but the house was vacant and it sat on the market for days and days. So just so you know, there's a certain segment of the population that looks at an empty room and doesn't know what to do with it. I'm one of those. If I go into an empty space or if I see a picture of it, it just doesn't motivate me to want to go see that home. Okay. So if we know that 80% of buyers eliminate homes online, you cannot have an agent that makes marketing mistakes like an ugly rug on the floor, dish towels hanging. That's the thing that jumps out at me is the dish towels hanging off the stove in the dishwasher, or a really cluttered pantry. Those pictures don't motivate buyers to want to come see your home. Buyers are choosing homes to improve their lifestyle. So the first question you should ask when you're interviewing agents is, how many buyers do you have that might be interested in my home? So we know the most buyers start their search on the internet and they eliminate homes based on the internet. So you want to make sure that you're working with an agent that has access to buyers and knows how to tap into those buyers and market to those buyers, so that we're not just attracting their database of buyers, but all the buyers in the buyer population. Also, pricing expertise. How do you know your agent's pricing your home right? I've talked to many home sellers that were more than willing to lower their price when they were listed with another agent, but they were never asked or they were never told that the price wasn't right. So they just kind of stick the house in the MLS and post and hope. And then they get so disappointed, they march all the way through prime selling season in the summer with it not being sold. So pricing expertise is absolutely critical. Obviously, we want to get you the most amount of money when we sell your home. But, according to the National Association of Realtors, that people that decide to sell their home by owner are probably less effective than ones that use a real estate agent. So I think hiring a real estate agent is hugely important, but you want to make sure that you have the tools to go sit down and talk with one or two agents and find out what is the best fit for you. So we offer this free agent selection guide. It includes the 9 different selection factors and the top most common mistakes made in agent selection. And you can download that report if you go to barbhasthebuyers.com or give us a call at 719-301-3900. I'm Barb Schlinker with Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty, and we'll be back after a few minutes.